Hey guys, it's me, Skeetlejuice. Welcome back to the second episode of History by Daylight. Today we're going to be talking about our favorite muscle man, Evan McMillan, the Trapper. One of the three original killers added to the game, his unique ability to place hidden bear traps during the trials gives him an upper hand in deviousness. A tale of wealth and power gone wrong, our story begins with Evan, an heir to an immense fortune. His father, Archie McMillan, was his personal hero. He admired his father, idolized the way he ran their estate. He would do anything to please him and always wanted to stay in his good graces. As his father's mental health deteriorated, he became sick with power, using money and human greed to manipulate circumstances to benefit him. Evan did anything and everything to protect his father from the droves of people trying to steal their fortune. When Archie finally snapped, Evan became the muscle behind the operation. The operation meant one of the worst mass murders in modern history. They could never prove Evan's involvement, how he led over 100 men into the dank, pitch-black tunnels before setting off the explosives, sealing them in their own tomb. No one truly knows how many victims fell to the hands of the nefarious father and son duo. No one even knows what became of Evan, who seemingly disappeared. His father, Archie, was later found dead, locked in the basement of his own warehouse, starved and abandoned. There are a few other instances where DBD has talked about Evan's lore. In Tome 1, Awakening, Tome 3, Escalation, Tome 8, Deliverance, where he had a video appearance, as well as Tome 12, Discordance. Tome 1, Blood, Brass, and Grit explains a memory. When Evan was 14 years old, he knew something his father didn't know. It exhilarated him. He knew something Archie didn't. Archie, owner of one of the most profitable mines in all of Seattle, didn't know. Archie managed his workers brutally, wielding an iron fist. Probably worse than that. More like brass knuckles. He would call them maggots, groveling maggots. He was wrong. They weren't maggots, they were men. Men who were conspiring to bring immense change to their conditions. One man specifically begging for his colleagues to stand up and help bring in a union so they could have freedom where they could be human. Evan knew something his father didn't, and it made him feel powerful. In Tome 3, Evan began rediscovering even more memories, questions being asked of him. Did the entity corrupt him prior to being snatched for the sadistic games in the fog? Or was all of his anger, his inherent need for bloodshed, a result of his father's horrific parenting style? A memory in the archive explains that they don't see Evan comply with any authority figures, even if that figure's the entity. Tome 8 was an appearance of Evan that was unlocked after completing all of the Master Challenges. It depicts a dark, dank forest, men wielding pickaxes as they run for their lives from a giant spider. After slaying the beast, they're transported to a tower where you slowly realize the clip is from the perspective of someone reading a comic book. Some will argue that the spider is Evan, since his favorite way of sport killing was using bear traps, and his brute strength to force his unsuspecting victims into entrapment. Tome 12 is from a different perspective, possibly Vigo. He listens to a few memories of a deranged miner named Evan on a phonograph. In a nearby pile of discarded stories, he found comic books inspired by the same memories. These comics were created by artists and authors in other worlds who somehow dreamed Evan up, recounting his mania and crimes. The narrator notes, quote, "True in one world, fiction in another, and I suppose vice versa. Makes me wonder if someone in another world is dreaming and writing about us." The Trapper was the only playable killer available during Dead by Daylight's beta testing. His original name was Chuckles, but was actually misspelled in the game files as Checkles. His original cosmetic displays him as a broad beast of a man, wearing a mask, sporting a horrific grin across it, earning his nickname. His set of maps is called the Macmillan Estate. 10 different map configurations in the largest of the realms inside the fog. His character design had taken inspiration from Jason Voorhees in the Friday the 13th franchise. Some renderings within the game files actually reveal our boy Evan is bald. He also appeared in other games as an unlicensed killer during For Honor's Survivor of the Fog event, known as the Miserable Smiling Killer. He was also our first killer to have skin-specific moris.
What time is it? It's naughty time!
The Trapper arguably laid the foundation for other killers to receive legacy skins that changed his entire appearance. Krampus, Naughty Bear, and eventually we'll see him as Frank Stone. Even cooler, his voice actor, Filip Ivanovic, actually voices multiple characters in the realm. Wraith, Hillbilly, Bubba the Cannibal, Freddy Krueger the Nightmare, Ghostface, and Jeff Johansen. His teachable perks include agitation, brutal strength, and unnerving presence, all of which benefit him in some way, increasing his movement speed, his action speeds for breaking walls and pallets, as well as any survivors repairing or healing within his terror radius to have increased frequency and skill checks, not to mention the success rate for them decreasing by up to 60%. Evan may be an original character, but he's one with amazing history and lore. I hope this gave you some insight into who he is and how he was a backbone for the amazing killer selection we have now. Number 1 of 40, The Trapper. Until next time, thanks for watching.